So you can get up in Chicago and like Maple Park, Morgan Park, I can name a lot of neighborhoods, and you could go all over your area for downtown down and never see nothing but a black person. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. So I can't speak for all blacks, but in Chicago, you go to Walgreens, everybody working there black. You come out, there's some police in the car. It's a two black women or a black woman and black police. It's the black police, black firemen. You know what I'm saying? So I live in a super black city where I could go to areas where I don't never see nothing but black people. The Secretary of State gonna be black, the chief of police, black, the mayor, black. You know what I'm saying? So I have to admit, I do live in a super black city where I don't have to deal with racism a lot. But pushing the marijuana movement, I've been all across this country. And there was some racism in certain places, but it was always a small portion. It was never the majority. So if I went to Seattle Hemp Fest, I'm out here with 250,000 people. Out of 250,000 people, shoot, 240,000 is white, and they ain't hating. They don't be hating like that. We do reggae shows, it's all white people. They not how they racist and they coming to the reggae show. They coming to the show. They coming to see 50 Cent. They coming to the concert. And then when I was young, right? Imagine I was a young black teenager, 17 years old, 18 years old. I'm going to see Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, thousands and thousands of white people. Nobody hated it at all. As a matter of fact, being black at a concert like a Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, when the whites seen us there, they was excited because it was like we stamped what they like. Like, oh, should you hear? Oh, this is really fire. Basically, that's the vibe I got. That when we went to see a Led Zeppelin or the Who or Pink Floyd, the whites was happy. Because typically, let's take food. No matter where you go, the main thing they want to know, yeah, I seen all of them live. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Who, name it. Rick Wakeman, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I can't even name them all. All of them, basically. I went to all the black shows and all the white shows. I went to everybody. I might be at Parliament this week, and I might be at Led Zeppelin next week. It's rock and roll, but it's heavy metal. I went to see Black Sabbath. That's heavy metal. I went to see Black Sabbath. That's heavy metal. Ozzy Osbourne. Matter of fact, that was one of my favorite groups because I like the bass player. Yeah, I went to all that shit. Three of us, two of us, all white boys, and white boys and girls because we like all young. So we ain't like it ain't like well, it's men and white women, young though. Only 2 blacks, 4 blacks. So we ain't had no problem. You know, Carlos Santana, John McLaughlin. I went to the Jazz Fusion, the jazz. I went to, I went to all the top music. All this is a lot of different music here. It's rock and everything in it. Edgar Winter, Johnny Winter, John McLaughlin, the Mojave New Orchestra, Santana, War, Funkadelic before they was Parliament. I seen Funkadelic with War and Bloodstone before they was that. I don't know. I don't know. When you're around real rock and roll people then, they didn't really mess with, they only mess with their favorites. And the kings of the shit was Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd was the kings of the shit. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd was the top. The Who was in there, but the top number ones was Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. They was the top. Pink Floyd was so big, they only did 2 shows in the whole United States. They didn't even come to Chicago. My father took me, Doug Griswold, and his brother, Michael Griswold, and my boy Kepper took 4 of us because we wanted to go to Milwaukee to see Pink Floyd, but we wasn't old enough to get in a hotel. So my daddy agreed to get the hotel. Oh, and Michael Hurd. Michael Hurd went with him. So they drove in a car behind my daddy, and I rode with my daddy. Now he drove us all the way to Milwaukee. We went to the hotel. My daddy got the 2 rooms, a room for him and a room for us. Because Pink Floyd only did 2 cities. And it was crazy because when we got to the hotel, once we checked in, we came outside and it was just white dudes and chicks everywhere. And they was like, hey, guy, we're on the 7th floor. Real talk. So we went to the 7th floor. And they was in the hallway all the way down on the 7th floor, in the hallway, smoking it out and drinking. And what they did is if you was on the 7th floor, you had to provide the sodas, the drinks, the ice, the ashtrays. Then once they smoked on the 7th floor, they're like, let's go. Then they went to the 8th floor. Then they went to the 9th floor. Every floor we went to, we sat in the hallway and smoked the building out. I swear to God, until we got to the roof. When we got to the roof and started getting off the elevator, it was a swimming pool. It had a sign say pool closed. Them white dudes grabbed the pool closed sign and threw it off the top of the building and jumped in the pool, and everybody started smoking. The manager come upstairs with the sign and say, hey, you shouldn't have threw this out there. It could have hit somebody. But he didn't close it down. And then once we smoked out the top, then everybody went to their room and went to bed for the concert the next day. Real talk. And it wasn't like, oh, we was black or nothing. They didn't give a damn what we was. Real talk. They didn't like, oh, they didn't pay no attention. They didn't give a damn what you was. That's a fact. From like the 7th floor up to like the 20th floor. Every floor that we smoked it out. And they got up to the top and took the sign and threw it over and jumped. That's when I realized, oh, white people really privileged. You know what I'm saying? These was young white people like 19, 20, 21, 25, 29, 30. Our age, 17, 16, like that, 17. When they threw the sign out, the police came upstairs with the manager. The police came. The police and the manager came upstairs with the sign, and they was still smoking. And it was really illegal back then. And the police say, guys, cut it out. Don't do stuff like this. We got to shut this down. And they were smoking like, okay, man, sorry, man. You shouldn't have did that, dude. We're cool, dude. We didn't do. And they just left them. And they never stopped smoking when the police came. I said, what the hell? It was highly illegal back then, man. But it's like they lived in a different world. That's why I learned they lived in a different world than what we lived in. They had white privilege. They can't deny white privilege. I seen it. They turn a blind eye to whatever they do. They was like, these are our kids. Let them have fun. That's how they didn't look at us as they kids, black people, but they looked at their own as these are kids. They look at us, oh, you're breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? And once we was there with all them whites, we could do whatever. We got a pass. We was plugged because we were there. That can't mess with them. Whites ain't gonna let us mess with them. Hey man, leave them alone. Cause we part of the crew. That's how they look at it. You ain't gotta do no sucking up or nothing. You just be yourself. They really don't like you if you black around them and you acting white. They don't like that. Cause they like, what's the purpose of you being here if you ain't gonna be black? You know, if we're gonna be around some black dudes, we need them to be black. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God. They like you better when you black, when you just yourself. They don't like you when you like jolly G gosh guy. They don't like that shit. Cause it's like they ain't really get a chance to be around no black guys. You're like a Negro. They don't want to be around no Negro. They want to be around the real blacks. Facts. And the next day we went to Pink Floyd. We went to Pink Floyd, a big ass stadium. Hey, I wanted to go get in line and go to the show. The 4 other dudes or 5 dudes I was with, they didn't want to get in line, so I left. I left them and I went and got in line. I came out as well. I want to get a good spot and see the show, so I left the dudes I went with. So I'm in line and I get in and I'm here and I'm just there, and it's all whites around me. And man, I was so gone when I came out of there. I was just wandering around in the parking lot. I was just walking around the parking lot. I was gone, boy. I was on another planet. And I was just walking around the parking lot and they say, hey, my boys found me and came and got me, but I wasn't looking for them. But they were looking for me. They found me. Good thing they found me, because I don't know how long it would have been before I looked for them, because I wasn't looking for nothing. I was just tripping because, you know, these vans and shit, you know, they got Winnebagos with all kind of painting on them and shit and music. I was like, it was like, I can't explain what it's like. It's like the circus, the zoo, the museum, and all that put together. It was amazing. I was just wandering around. I was in that concert surrounded by white people, and they was taking care of me like I was Jesus Christ. Oh my soul. I got out, I was just wandering around, and then my guys found me. They're like, we was looking for your ass, man. You ran off, left off. Like, man, we came all the way up here, and y'all just want to walk around. Y'all don't want to get in line and get a good spot? Bro, I'm not came all the way this way to be in a crow's nest. We supposed to be, this is what we came here for. Get our ass in line and get in and get a good spot. But they didn't want to do that, so I left. Man, listen, I ain't have my daddy bring me up here and spend all this money and don't really get in here and see the show out here, walk around this damn parking lot. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to look for nothing. They going to pass you stuff. It's puff, puff, pass. The whole thing is puff, puff, pass. You know what I'm saying? What the hell, man? We in here with Cheech and Chong. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. Real talk. If they would give me a TV series, it'll be better than Wonder Years. I swear to God. It'll be the black version of Wonder Years. Man, if they gave me a TV show and let me pick the actors to act the stuff we grew up with, it'd be one of the best things on TV. The whole swing bike era, the whole shoot marble era, the out on the court trying to be like Dr. J, that whole era, they wouldn't believe it, especially with my particular life. Because my particular life was like not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Pink Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Pink Floyd was big, and then the hood liked Pink Floyd. Cause we like money. So money, doom, doom, doom. See, back in those days, Lurk, when you was big, they played you on every radio station. It wasn't like it was now. Back in those days, if you get a big record, they play you on the black stations, the white stations, and everything in between back then in the 70s. In the 70s, if you get a big record, they play it on everywhere. I'll give you an example. Back then, they had a record go, oh, happy days, oh, happy, when Jesus walked, he turned my tears away. Oh, happy day. That song went to the top. They played it on the black stations. They played it on the white stations. They played it on the jazz stations. They played it every damn where. If you got a big record, they played it. I don't give a damn what station. Facts. If you got a big record in America, they play it on every station. You live in a black neighborhood, and if dude get a big record, and he be talking about Benny and the Jets, Elton John, every station. Benny, niggas in the hood. Benny and the Jets in the hood. I swear to God, anybody tell you. Do 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 that I miss you. Rolling Stones, every radio station, black, whites, whatever. Black, white, whatever. If you got a big record back then, it went everywhere. The Bee Gees, yep. 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 You got a big record, everybody want to hear it. Because the music changed, right? So the music kept changing. So like when I'm in kindergarten, the biggest group in the world is the Beatles. The Beatles run everything. I was in kindergarten and we had show and tell. And the kid showed this. So a teacher asked me, okay, Michael, it's your turn. I got up and guess what I did for show and tell? I got up. It's been a hard day's night and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night and I've been sleeping like a log. And when I come under you, all I know things that you do, it make me feel okay. That's what I did as a kindergarten. That's what I did for show and tell, the Beatles. That was my song in kindergarten. Tell me that ain't crazy. That's what I did I still remember. And look, I still know the lyrics, don't I? Show you I ain't lying. That was my song. And the Beatles had a cartoon. So then when Michael Jackson came out, they had a cartoon. Okay, you understand, Michael Jackson is a year younger than me. So when we in second grade and third grade, and we going on a field trip from a black school, we kids. Michael Jackson is our age. That's why the Jackson 5 is the biggest group ever, because they had every age group. Michael, Marlon. That's how they cheated. See, the Jackson 5 cheated. The Temptations all the same age. The Miracles all the same age. But the Jackson 5 was every age. The big girls like Jermaine. The high school and college girls like Jermaine. The kids like Michael. You can't lose. It was a dude for every age. We going on a field trip. We on the bus. A, B, C. Simple as 1, 2, 3. We in the second grade. Do, re, mi, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me. Yeah, the middle-aged girls like Jackie. You see who you see who Tina telling on herself. Hey, look, y'all. Hey, Tina telling on herself. Ooh, Tina like Jackie. There go Tina, Jackie. Tina telling. Tina telling on herself. You know what I'm saying? They like Jackie and they like Tito. Jackie the told on herself. She like, hey, don't forget my baby. Don't forget my baby, Jackie. She know I ain't lying. Listen, we went to see the Jackson 5 at Operation Breadbasket. I couldn't hear for like a day because the girls, that's the most craziest I ever seen anybody get. Crazier than Al Green, crazier than Teddy Pendergrass. The girls was going crazy. So the girls behind me was all over, like on me, just screaming. It's nothing you could do when they was fanatic. And my sister sat next to me, and my sister started crying, talking about Marlon looked at her. She started crying and shaking and crying. My sister, you're younger than me. My sister started screaming, Marlon looked at me, and she started crying. I swear to God. And the girls behind me, they pushing your head down, screaming, Michael, Tito. For real, like you're not even there. I just took it. It's the most abuse ever at a concert. I mean, they was really, I can't explain the vibe. Really fanatical, like next level crazy. And I couldn't, my ears was ringing because they was screaming right here. Ah, there's nothing you could do with them. The whole place is doing that. Thousands and thousands of girls screaming to the top. Seriously, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like extreme fanatics, like extreme. The next closest thing I seen to that was Al Green. My sister almost got smashed. You know, we like teenagers, and Al Green started giving out my flowers, some flowers. My sister went out in the aisle trying to get some flowers. Hey, Tina, my sister then went out in the aisle to try to get some flowers from Al Green with all them big grown women and almost got smashed. I had to go jump over the seats and pull my sister because she was really getting hurt like a stampede. She done jumped her ass out there in the aisle. She high school. She might be like a junior. She done ran in the aisle with grown women that's trying to get flowers from Al Green, and she a little girl. I had to go save her life. They was smashing her. I said, girl, what made you think you could compete with them? You know, it was some thick, strong women too. They wasn't all slim. It was some big mamas running down there hollering over Al. My dumbass sister jumped out there in the aisle. You know the aisle's small, and she in the front of all these women pushing. I had to jump over the seats, move people out the way from the side, and pull her up out of there so she didn't get hurt. My mama was so worried because my sister was in the crowd like this. You know what I'm saying? Girls, you crazy. That was a good show, too. Imagine seeing Al Green in the Dramatics. I want to go outside in the rain. Man, that show was off the chain. I didn't know Al Green was that good. Boy, you can only imagine, Tina. Al Green in the Dramatics. And that's when Al Green had the White Album out. With all of, oh, man. And he out there spending my day thinking about you, girl. Boy, they was going crazy. Let's stay together, man. They was going. That's the most fanatic I've seen women. Al Green was crazy. He was the number one. If he didn't get them gritstone on him, wasn't nobody messing with him. He was the number one male singer by far. And that album is one of the best albums ever made in music. That album go in there with Superfly. It's not too many albums got that many hits on it. But Superfly with Curtis Mayfield, Al Green, who else got just a whole lot of hits on their album? The Stylistics. It's not too many albums when you're a collector that you can buy that's like loaded like that. They'll have some good songs. The Isley Brothers, I'll put them in there. But a lot of people only got like one song here, one song there. Michael Jackson, yeah. But Michael, once Michael went solo, he was like categorized more alternative. So the Delphonics, yeah. Michael wasn't classified black like that. Stevie was all right, but not Stevie didn't have no albums with as much hits as Al Green. Very few albums. The Barcades was all right, but we talk about albums that just choke full of classics, stylistics, and now it's not a lot of albums choke like that. There's some good songs on there, but it's not a lot of albums like choked up like those albums. Like Superfly, it's just full. Marvin Gaye didn't have no albums choked up like that. He had some good albums, but Got to Give It Up was like 11 minutes long, so it wasn't a bunch of songs on there. Uh, People had good albums, don't get me wrong, but it's really hard to have an album both sides full of hits. Most people got an album, it's got a hit here, maybe two hits on one side, maybe three, maybe two hits on the other side. Most people, which is a good album. But very few people got an album with just all hits on both sides. Hardly nobody do that. The Commodores, they had some pretty good albums, but it wasn't like all hits like that. It was good though. The Ohio Players had good albums. The Dramatics had good albums. But there's only a few people where the whole album is crazy. It's only a few. Isaac was all right. Isaac Live at the Sierra was all right. Barry White was all right. He didn't have all hits on there. Who was my five with the most hits on there? I can't name them in order, but and the reason I say that because as a DJ, you got to play hits, and there's not you gonna skip your album's got songs. You mark out the songs you're gonna play. The Stylistics, Al Green, all hits, both of those. Um, Curtis Mayfield, Superfly, all hits. Earth, Wind, and Fire didn't have all hits. It was too much filler. Even the Ozzy Brothers, they got an album. It's all hits on side two, but it's not all hits on side one. So Superfly, Al Green, the Stylistics, whole album. Ooh, see, that's hard. Very few people do that, a whole album. Uh because a real good album is five good songs. like the Ozzy Brothers, the Dramatics, Ohio Players, they all could get 5 songs. But the whole album is very rare. They're skippers. Those other albums, they got songs, there's songs you'll skip. These records, nah, you don't have to skip nothing. Who else? Ooh. Ooh. It's not too many albums as good as Superfly, Al Green, and the Stylistics, as far as just a bunch of hits. A ridiculous amount of hits. There's some got like the Ozzy Brothers would come close. Side 2 is all hits. Side 1 is a couple. See what I'm saying? Side 1 is just a couple hits. You know what I'm saying? Sides 2 is all hits on that one. You know what I'm saying? Damn, who else? I can't really think of nobody else. James Brown wouldn't have that many hits. He would just be saying the same. You know, he always just had his big hit. The thing of Lauryn Hill, I don't know because that's past my era. That's the CD era. I'm not really going into the CD era. The OJs, nah, they didn't have old hits, but it was hot. But they didn't have all hits on that album. It was hot though. But it would go just right with the Smokey Robinson, with Isley Brothers. Those was really good albums. But these albums I named ain't regular. You know? Harold Melvin and Blue Notes only would have a couple real good records. When you're talking whole albums, not that many. Yeah, it's really not that many. It's very few. Teddy Pendergrass was close, but Teddy had some stuff you wouldn't listen to. It was close. It wasn't as good as Al Green's album, but it definitely was fire. The Whispers were pretty good, but once again, it wasn't like all hits. Barry White. The thing about Barry White is the reason he wouldn't make it because the songs is real long. So if you got a song on the front side of the album that take up half the album, that's cheating. You know, him and Isaac Hayes, they would make these long songs with the long instrumental. So by the time one Barry White song is done, that's 3 stylistic hits. You know what I'm saying? That's 3 Marvin Gaye hits. 3 Al Green hits. You could play 3 of their hits while you're listening to, Marvin Gaye. Got to give it up, 11 minutes long. Damn, who just got fire every song? Not too many people. The Stylistics, Al Green, and Superfly. Because the Shaft album wasn't all hit. George Clinton, any Parliament album? George Clinton had a lot of weirdo stuff on his album. So he would have some hits, but you know how George is. George would have weirdo songs on his album. The Dramatics was good, but not the whole album, not every song. I got the Dramatics, so not Now the Dramatics would be just like the Ozzy Brothers. The Ozzy Brothers had great Dramatics, Ozzy Brothers. These people had great albums. But as far as the amount of hits on one album, no, it wasn't no Superfly. It definitely ain't no Stylistic. And they definitely ain't no Al Green. The Temptations really wasn't big when albums came out. The Temptations from the single era. So the Temptations was from the 45 era. So them songs wouldn't be on the album. It would be one or two songs on this album, then another song on this album. Because them people didn't do albums. They just did 45, 45, 45. That's how they got famous. Smokey Robinson and all them just did 45. The Jackson 5, 45s. That's that 45 era. The album era didn't get big until when you get to uh, Rick James albums was whack. I mean, he had some good songs, but not hits. Uh, the album era didn't start till like the Commodores, Ohio Players, Skin Tight. Doom, doom, doom. That's the album era. The Gap Band didn't have a lot of hits. They had a couple good songs. Brass Construction had some good songs. That's the album era. This is the album era. Before this era, it's all 45s. This whole collection is the album era. And before this is the 45. I got 45s up there. Because they used to drop 45s, 45s, 45s. Then they started dropping album. Confunction, the album was all right, but it wasn't, they would go with Brass Construction, Ohio Players. They had good albums, but these albums, it's like crazy. War. The World is a Ghetto. I would put that on there. The World is a Ghetto. Yes, I would put War on it. Thanks. The world is a ghetto. Yes, I would put that there for sure. That's one of the few. Yes, the world is a ghetto where War was all hits. If I ain't mistaken. Hold on, let me hold on. I gotta look on that one. Hold on. I don't know. I gotta look. Hold on. I don't want to be just saying something. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me see. Nah, this ain't all hit. The hit is Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. Zoom, zoom, zoom in my four corner room. The world is a ghetto, but the rest of this shit, Beatles in the bag, no. Where was you at? No. City, country, city, no. So now, War not, no. It's a no for War. Cameo, definitely not. Yeah, it's a no for War. Yeah, it's a no. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not a lot of albums like that. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I don't got my Parliament albums to look because George Clinton signed them. You know, George Clinton signed them. Why Can't We Be Friends? That's on a different album. That ain't on The World is a Ghetto. You know what I'm saying? The Gap Band, yeah, but they go in there with Confunction and all them. Mass Production, no, they definitely didn't have a lot of hits. Good albums though. I got their albums. Mass Production was good, but it wasn't all hits. Confunction, not all hits. I got any Son House. Who is Son House? You know, yeah. Main ingredients definitely didn't have all hits. When you start talking about late at night when all the world is safe within their dreams and all that. When you start talking to Stylistics, no, they ain't messing with that album. You know how many hits on the Stylistics album? You are everything, and everything is that. Man, you know how many hits on Stylistic? Have y'all looked at the Stylistics album? You know how many hits is on there? An incredible amount of hits. Now, come functioning groups like that, they had a bunch of filler. You'd be lucky to play one. I got their albums. Rolls Royce, nah. They got Car Wash, and then they got the song, uh, uh, Since You've Been Gone. Everything has been wrong. Why you have to say goodbye? Look what you done for me. I can't get these teardrops from my eyes. Oh, baby, I'm going down. Dude, like they, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Womack, no, but he was fire. I got his album. Bobby Womack was fire, but it wasn't all hits. Like I said, the closest is the Isley Brothers. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all think I'm playing. Hold on. I'm going to show you the closest one. If I was going to put anybody in there, if I was going to put any other album in there, it would have to be this is the only other album I could put in there. Okay, I would put this in there. This one could go. This one could go. Because they got Fight the Power, Time to Truly Waste It. Definitely George Benson didn't have enough hits. Then this one got The Heat Is On. That was fire. Then it got Hope You Feel Better. That's fire. Then side two is Listen on the Memories hit. Sensuality hit. Make me say it again, girl. This album right here, this was my girlfriend album. Whenever I get a young girl, a high school girl by the house, this was the lifesaver because I could put the record player on, put on side two, and it's all slow songs. And it just keep playing, get her in the mood so I can try to feel on it and kiss on it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I believe you are an angel. All the heaven high. So yeah, I'll put this one in there. This is the only other one. The rest of them, no. I know my music. This I could put this in there with the stylistics, the Isley Brothers, Curtis Mayfield, and Al Green. Everybody else got too much filler. This only got 6 songs on it, and they fire. Every one of them. So yeah, this one definitely go. Like I said, you got a lady by the house, side 2. Don't say I didn't give you no game. It's gonna play the For the Love of You. It's gonna play Sensuality, and then it's gonna play Make Me Say It Again, girl. Let that loop. She's gonna be ready to go. One of the greatest albums ever made. The Gap Band, Barcades, none of them groups got an album this good. None of them. Confunction, Brass Construction, none of them. Sly and the Family Stone had too many weirdo songs. It was good though, but none of the groups. The only group that got an album that can compete with this is the Stylistics, Round 2 or whatever it's called, Round with the World on it. It's the only one. Nobody else could compete with this. Yep. That's a fact. You gotta understand, I'm a DJ, so I gotta play the hits. So I know the records I can depend on and the records I can't. See what I'm saying? And this. If I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star. Yeah, this one. You'll never get to heaven if you break my heart, right? Break up to make up. That's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. No other. That's 3. There's no album that can outdo those 3. You're as white as rain. Man, come on. Late at night, when all the world is safe within their dreams, I walk the shadow. Now, how many I named already? And it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. Because we really did try to. Now, give me another album that can match just those. I ain't even sing them all. Name that many songs on another album. Name as many hot songs on another album as the Stylistics. Totally underrated. Name as many songs. If I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star. The Temptations didn't drop albums, they dropped singles, 45s. Ain't nobody. The Temptations didn't drop albums. You're talking about the Temptations hits. The Temptations didn't have all them hits on one album. The Temptations was the 45 era. And the Temptations, to prove it is, the Temptations never had the same group. So they ain't got no album with the same group. David Ruffin left early. See? David Ruffin left early. Then Eddie Kendricks was the lead singer. Then he left and the other brother came. So all them was different albums. They ain't had no album this good in their life. You would have to put their songs from all the different albums to compete with this. Most of them people you name, you would have to put albums off a different song. You would have to take songs off of different albums to compete with this album. There ain't. Listen, I'm a DJ. I had to play slow songs And it ain't nobody that you could go to. And ain't too many people got no album like this or Al Green's album. It ain't too many like that. It's not that many albums where I could sing these songs and you know these songs. The other albums, the songs gonna be kind of off brand. These is all classics. Think about it. If I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star. You know that one, right? You know it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. You know that one, right? Late at night when all the world is safe with it. You know that one, right? You'll never get to heaven if you break my heart. You know that one, right? Break up to make up. That's all we do. You know that one, right? You're as right as rain. You know that one, right? How many people? Nobody got that many. Listen, no album got that many slow songs. Listen, no album in the history of music got as many hot slow songs as this album. This is the #1 album with slow songs. I just showed you Ozzy, bro. They had 3 on the back and 1 in front. That's 4. This one got 4 on one side. I'm stone in love with you. You and me. It's too late. Children of the Night. That already shut down the Ozzy brothers right there. You never get to heaven if you break my heart. Break up to make what? Peekaboo. You're as right as rain. This a wrap. The Ozzy brothers ain't got no album, got that many hits on there like that in their life. Nobody do. They underrated. The Emotions don't got that many hits like that. I got the Emotions. The Emotions ain't got that many. Listen, nobody got that many hits. Nobody over here got that many hits. The only person that can kind of come close to singing songs that you remember on their album would be Al Green. He might come close. But if you ask me, as far as a lot of hit records on one album, they got played because they got the most hit records on one album than anybody. Blue Magic ain't got this many hit records. Neither do the Emotions. The Emotions don't got that many hit records because the Emotions wasn't really a group. The Emotions was background singers for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. No, the Stylistics got played. Frankie Beverly and Mays. But see, you gotta understand, when you hear all them Frankie Beverly and Mays songs, those is from a lot of different albums. Hold on. Those from a lot of different albums. So yeah, it's people got a lot of hits, but I'm talking from one album. But when you start talking about Frankie Beverly and Mays, that's from a lot. Yeah, that's from a lot of albums, though. Hold on. Hold on. And then it was made featuring Frankie Beverly. Okay, listen. Traveling Man, Song for My Mother, You're Not the Same, Working Together, Golden Day, I Wish You Well. Couple of them on here. Love Inspiration. A couple. That's yeah. His songs are spread out though. While I'm Alone, Happy Feeling. See, his albums, when he do his shows, he's just coming off of all of these. The Stylistics got more hits than all these together. Kool and the Gang didn't have no lot of hits. Kool and the Gang albums was like a lot of them albums, man, from somebody that bought the albums. A lot of them albums, man, was filler. Hold on. Where we at? They ain't dropped no album like this. Spending my day thinking about you, girl. Now they ain't got no album like this. Get your ass out of here. I'm so glad you're mine, right? Love and happiness. Make you do wrong, make you do right. What a beautiful thing love is. Love is. Come on, man. Simply beautiful. Come on, man. They don't got no hits like this. For the good times. They don't got, oh, look what you done to me. No. No, they ain't. Come on, man. Come on. Only people messing with this album is the Stylistics, okay? Aretha Franklin, she had some pretty good albums, but not like this. This and the Stylistics, man, I could take this and the Stylistics on a new date and it's popping. She gonna go crazy. Y'all know I ain't lying. This is one of the best albums ever made. This album right here, this album almost got my sister killed. She tried to go down there and get some roses from Dude. When they threw grits on Dude, they messed our lives up, didn't they? Right after this, that lady threw them grits on him. We never got, you know what I'm saying? This is one of the best albums ever. And look, you can tell, look how much times I played this album. Look, it's tore up I played it so much. Come on, man. Cause I'm still in love. So much in love with you. Come on, you know that. I'm so glad you're mine. Y'all don't even know that. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo. Boy, listen. Love and happiness. Make you do wrong, make you do right, right? Come on. Simply beautiful. Man, ain't nobody messing with this album. No. This one of the best out. This and the Stylistics album. Yeah, them hot grits messed him up. This one of the, hey, he don't get his prop. This one of the best albums ever made. And that Stylistics album. As far as the production team, the musicians, the instrumentation, the choice of songs. Because the reason I say that, when we spend our money, we could tell. You know, when you spend your money, you can tell the value of your money. And so as a record collector, I could tell when I spend my money, okay, this was worth my money. This was all right. Well, at least I got a couple hits on here to play when I'm DJing. Oh, I got all my money worth. You can tell when you spend your money. When you go buy an album and put it on, you can tell how much of your dollar you got out of it. And this is one of the albums. If he didn't go through that, no, he know his live shows wasn't nothing after that. Ice. This is before the grits. No, Ice. After the Grits, he wasn't no more good. He was through. The show we went to see was before the Grits. His best shows was before the Grits, Ice. After the Grits, he was through. Next time you seen him, he was fat. He couldn't perform well or nothing. Because he had to get skin grafts and shit, bro. Al Green was messed up for years. He had to get his skin all replaced. All his fire shows was before the Grits, Ice. Facts, anybody tell you. After the Grits, he wasn't nothing. He never came back. He never came back after the Grits. Once they threw the Grits on him, Teddy Pendergrass took over. He was finished. And Teddy was out there making women take their panties off. Now I got to look at Teddy's albums. Teddy might compete, but I don't got Teddy Pendergrass album. I was buying reggae when all that came out. So maybe Teddy might too. But yeah, he was through after that, Ice. It ruined him. He was finished. This is the height of his career. After that, it was all downhill for Al. She threw them Grits on him while he, at the end, right when he got finished promoting this tour. He had to get skin graft. It was horrible, wasn't it, Tina? It was horrible. It was really bad. Al was gone. It was bad. His career was over. Teddy had them hits. I just got to see if he got them on one album. You know what I'm saying? That's the key when we talk about the best albums. Now we talk about like the best artists, that's like different. Yeah, we start talking about the best artists and on all their different albums, that would be a different conversation. I'm talking about like one album. Your money's worth, Stylistics, Al Green, you getting all your money. Boy, you getting all your money worth with them albums right there. The Isley Brothers album, you getting all your money's worth. For real. Stephanie Mills was good. I got to see about her albums, though. Yeah, I got to see what was on the album because a lot of them was good performers, but it's from a collection of different albums. And then you put the different albums together, then they got good songs. But very few people got one album like the Stylistics or one album like this or one album like the Isley Brothers. And I forgot the other person I said. I said one more person. It's very few people got one album like that. That's rare. That's like extremely rare. When you buy an album like that, you hit the jackpot. Sade would go on the list. Whole goddamn album fire. Sade. Sade. Whole damn album fire. Sade. With the album Coast to Coast LA. Yeah, Sade. For sure. Sade, go on the list. For sure. Sade, go on the list for sure. Whole damn album fire. The whole album is fire. The whole album. Sade, the whole album, the one that got Coast to Coast, LA to Chicago, that one, the whole album. Fire. Fire. Better than some of these where some of these got maybe a skipper Sade, no skipper. Every song is like fire. Every song. Sade passed a couple of these because there's like a skipper on the stylistics, and I think there's a skipper on Al Green. Ain't no skipper on Sade. Ain't no. That's probably yeah. Ain't no skipper on that. I forgot about that. I don't know how I forgot that. How could I forget that? That came out when I was hitchhiking, and this white lady picked me up and her daughter. They both wanted to sleep with me. I don't remember Anita Baker having no album that good as Sade. I remember she had some good songs though, but she ain't had no Sade song. I remember that girl. I remember I was knocking her back out, and I was playing that Sade over and over while I was knocking her back out. I don't know how I forgot that. The mama wanted to get in on it. Like this white hippie chick. She was fine though. Yeah, this the Sade. Yeah, Sade. Sade. Straight point blank period. Yup. I forgot everybody I named those. Stylistics, Al Green, Sade, the Isley brothers. There's one more person I named. I forgot. Who else I named? I named somebody else. I forgot the other person I named. Who was the other person I named? Anybody remember? Yeah, ain't nobody touching them. Was it Curtis Mayfield Superfly? No, who was it? Who was the other one I named? I forgot who was the other one I named. Curtis Mayfield Superfly. Yep, them five. Yeah, the Ozzy Brothers, Curtis Mayfield Superfly, Al Green, Sade, and now I forgot the other one. The Stylistics. Yeah, the Stylistics, Al Green, Sade, Superfly, and the Ozzy Brothers. The five albums that you get your most money out of. Let's put it like that. You're going to get your most money. Your best spend money would be those albums. That would be the ones worth the most money where you paid your money and got every nickel out your money on them five. You got every nickel. I mean, you could take those five albums and just stack them up on one of them turntables and flip them, or just record them straight through and have them on a tape, and you'll have one of the baddest tapes ever. No lie. Those are the ones where you got every penny of your money. Like you could pay $10 for an album and you got $8 worth. You got $7 worth. I got Switch. They was good. And Purple Rain was all right. It was all right. It wasn't all his. Herbie Hancock, he didn't. Herbie Hancock didn't have no records like that. The best one he had was Doom to Doom Doom Watermelon Man, and that was the only song anybody ever played. Everybody only played one song off of that Herbie Hancock. He didn't have two songs on there worth nothing. Yeah, he didn't have two songs on there. He wasn't even as good as old boy from Chicago. He wasn't even as good as dude. The Barcades album was pretty good. They just them all them groups they had good albums. Headhunters was good, but if one record covers the whole side, you know, then you only got one song. Somebody else got how many songs? But he wasn't even as good as dude from Chicago. His album wasn't as good as dude from Chicago. Donald Byrd. Herbie Hancock's album wasn't as good as Donald Byrd. That's a fact. Herbie Hancock's album was not better than Donald Byrd's album or the Blackbirds. Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds or Donald Byrd. Because he had the group the Blackbirds. Joe Simon, that's my daddy. That's 45s. Okay, see the Queen Tina, she played too much. Queen Tina, Queen Tina then went all the way back to here. Queen Tina then went Tina played too much. She done went Tina went back to these. She talking about Joe Simon. You know what I'm saying? She done went back. I wish I had all my 45s. I don't got all my 45s. She went back to these. You know what I'm saying? She went all the way back. I wish I had all my 45s. I had all of them. Let's do it again, do it again, do it again. Yeah, Tina playing. She done went all the way back. When I used to be a little kid and I used to DJ for my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And my daddy upstairs and I'm playing records. I'm trying to play a record for everybody. So I had to put on a record for my grandmama. I seen her the other day. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law. My grandmama said, oh, that boy down there playing them records. Then I got to play a record for my daddy. I've been down one time and I've been down two times. Now I'm drowning. I'm drowning in the sea of love. That's when I was a little boy when I first started DJing. My daddy upstairs, oh, get it, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Millie Jackson was too nasty, so they wouldn't play that until we went to bed. They would play Millie Jackson and listen to Red Fox and Mom's Maybe and lock us upstairs. We'd be upstairs, they'd be in the basement, they would play. Millie Jackson was X-rated. You know what I'm saying? So Millie Jackson, Mom's Maybe, and all of them. My daddy, Johnny Taylor, and all of them. You know what I'm saying? That's back my mama generation. You know what I'm saying? And I used to spend all that. As a kid, I put a record on. Change, 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 change the food. Well, I don't need. I thought you was a man. Yeah, I used to DJ. That's how far I've been DJing. I was a little boy, 6, 7, 8 years old, DJing for the family in the basement. On God, seriously. I'll be DJing for the family. And I knew everybody's records. I knew what everybody liked. As a kid, I started DJing as a kid, 45s for the family at a family function. I knew what everybody liked. You know what I'm saying? I know what my mama like. If I want my mama happy, boom, put it on. Stop in the name of love before you. But you couldn't tell my mama nothing about the Supreme dying. My mama thought she was dying of ropes. Yeah, my mama thought she was dying of ropes. I ain't gonna lie. You want to get beat up? Hey, Tina, you want to go to bed early? Say something bad about Diana Ross. Try it. Because black women back there, that was their favorite woman in the whole world, was Diana Ross. 4 people ran black music. And if you wanted to drop a record, you had to wait till they get through. Okay? That's how it went. Number 1 was James Brown. Number 2 was Aretha Franklin. Number 3 was the Supremes. And number 4 was the Temptations. They ran black music. All other records got to go after them. Right? And people used to wait till they dropped their shit, then drop yours. That's a fact. They ran black music. James Brown, Aretha Franklin, the Supremes, and the Temptations. This one, I'm a little boy. They ran it. Smokey didn't run nothing. None of them the ones ran it. Everybody else, right? The Impressions and all them had to come after. The Miracles. Because it wasn't Smokey Robinson. It was Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. See what I'm saying? They all had to come after them. Was nobody messing with them. Period. You ain't messing with them. You're not messing. None of the men is messing with the Temptations. They run it. Period. Each day through my window, I watch her as she passes by. I say to myself, she's such a lucky guy. They ran it. To have a girl like her. It's truly a dream come true. I'm telling you the songs that ran stuff. Out of all the fellas in the world, she belongs to you. And it was just my imagination once again running away with me. They ran stuff. The Four Tops and all them, they was backups. The Four Tops, backups. The Miracles, backups. First off, because they didn't have to do with the deep voice. They only had 4. Temptations had 5. The Temptations was more suave than them, especially when they had Eddie Ruffin as the lead singer. They ran everything. It was a pecking order. If it's a concert with men, the last male group gonna sing gonna be the Temptations. It ain't gonna be the Miracles. It ain't gonna be the Four Tops. The headliners gonna be the Temptations. If it's females, the headliner gonna be Diana Ross and the Supremes. If it's a headliner male, it's gonna be James Brown. And if it's a headliner female, it's gonna be Diana Ross. Aretha Franklin. Ain't nobody messing with them. They run it. Nobody was bigger than Aretha Franklin. The Queen of Soul. James Brown, the King of Soul. Period. That's what they called him. The Shy-Lights was nobody. They was all right, but the Shy-Lights wasn't bigger than the Four Tops. Patti LaBelle's like way later when LaBelle came out. When LaBelle came out, I was like in high school. But they wasn't that big. She wasn't that big because they had the oole kool say fa. They was doing weirdo, lesbian music. So they wasn't that big. I seen them with Richard Pryor. They warmed up Richard Pryor. They wasn't that big. They wasn't big. It was other girls bigger than them. Oh, girl no was bigger than them. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy Mac. When are you coming back? Dun, 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 dun. He called me on the phone about 3 times a day. They was bigger. Who was that? Was that Martha? And I forgot. No, they was way big. Yeah. The little Patti LaBelle couldn't mess with her. Yeah, you couldn't mess with her. Oh, hell no. They couldn't mess with the other one. Who was that? The other one they couldn't mess with. Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love. Now I've seen you wear all your fancy clothes. They was way big. They was big. They was right under Diana Ross. They was right under Diana Ross. Martha Reeves and the Vandals. And who made Mr. Big Stuff? The Emotions wasn't that big yet because they was background for Earth, Wind, and Fire. That wasn't out there. Who made Mr. Big Stuff? Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are was big? And no girl that be talking crazy. And you ain't gonna just do me like that. Who was that? Who was the one that used to be talking? Let me tell you something, ladies. I forgot who that is. That might have been the one you brought up. She was big. But Martha and the Vandals, and what was the name of that other group? This is before the Pointer Sisters. Dang, what was the name of that group? That's who my mommy and them like. My mommy and them like them. They was huge. They was leaning, the men was leaning towards, Bobby Blue Bland, Tyrone Davis. They was leaning that way. Joe Tex. Give it here. Come on. Give it here. Remember Joe Tex? I ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman. Joe Tex was crazy, but he could perform. He could dance. He was like a Sammy Davis Jr. He was big. Jerry Butler, Tyrone Davis. They was huge. I forgot Jerry Butler's songs. Lattimore was huge. Jerry Butler was huge. Jerry Butler was bigger than life. Because you got to understand, they from Alabama and Mississippi. So this is before R&B. This is soul, what they call it, soul music. R&B came later. Millie Jackson. She used to be talking crazy, listen to her. But this is soul music. Then it went into R&B. Then it went into R&B, then you got the sound of Philadelphia and all that. But originally, when I was a little boy, they was listening to soul music. It was like a gospel type R&B. Then when I was real little, I'm going back when I was real little, when I first started DJing, when I'm like 6. I started DJing at like 6, 7 years old, playing the records for the family. And my daddy liked songs like "I'll Stand Accused," and they got and the one my grandmom used to like. Take out the papers and the trash. Or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, You ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. I used to have to, I would be playing their records. I don't know what it is, but I know they like it. So I'm just playing it. And my grandmama and them is up there going crazy. A lot of young people don't know that them records like that. You gotta really be a black, you know what I'm saying? A rainy night in Georgia. They used to play that to the record player break. Of course, their favorite that was on TV all the time. Let me see who could guess. Who was black people's favorite that stayed on TV that everybody forget about? Put it in the chat. Who was black people's favorite that stayed on TV? Put it in the chat. Let me see who go way back. Close original. Let me see Tina. Tina playing. Tina, who was the favorite that stayed on TV? Tina. No. Kinda. No, I'm talking about the biggest. Lou Armstrong was big, but I'm talking about the biggest. Elizabeth, the biggest. Who was the biggest that stayed on TV that everybody forget about? Everybody forget about this. Everybody forget. Everybody, but was the biggest. No, he wasn't the biggest. Now he wasn't he wasn't the TV favorite. No. Now, yes, they went crazy to get around the TV to see Tina Turner. Yes, but she was not the TV favorite. Sammy Davis, they liked him. They ran around the TV. I'm gonna tell y'all, the TV favorite was Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight stayed on that damn TV. If Sammy Davis Jr. came on Ed Sullivan once, Gladys Knight and the Pips be on Ed Sullivan 5 times in 1 year. Gladys Knight and the Pips was on TV so much, her brother was famous. Remember, her brother was one of the dancers. Gladys stayed on the TV. Stayed on there. That's why I say she got everybody forget. Am I lying, Tina? Everybody forget. Remember when we was growing up? Tell me Gladys wasn't always on that damn TV. Gladys stayed on that TV more than any other black performer. She stayed on the TV. Am I lying? Bubba Knight. Hey, Tina, am I lying? Did not Gladys stay on that TV? She stayed on there. They loved her. Man, they loved Gladys. She stayed on the TV more than anybody. I ain't lying. Because, we black, we watch it, and Gladys stayed on there. Did she? She stayed on that TV more than anybody. Every time you looked up, you seen Gladys and Bubba. I'm talking about nobody come close. Nobody come. Gladys way before Roberta. Roberta died too early, so she didn't really, you know what I'm saying? The Marvelettes. Hey, nobody, I challenge anybody to name any performer that been on TV more than Gladys Knight. None. And Sammy was on there a lot, but he ended up doing acting and being on Gunsmoke and stuff like that. And he didn't have no hit record. See, Sammy never had no records. Gladys was killing the game. Aretha, I think, had an abuse problem, so they wasn't pushing her. But Aretha didn't have the star power that Gladys. Gladys had that power with the brothers dancing. Ooh, you took me by surprise, I must say. That's when I found out yesterday. I know that I heard it through the grapevine. Who did Heard It Through the Grapevine? Was that Aretha Franklin or was that Gladys Knight? Wasn't that Gladys Knight that did Heard It Through the Grapevine or was that Aretha Franklin? The Supremes would come on TV, but when they came on TV, it was like big superstars, and then Diana left early. I think that was Gladys too. The voice sound like Gladys. It don't sound like Aretha. Gladys, right. Gladys, Midnight Train to Georgia, Heard It Through the Grapevine. She ran the TV. She ran it. She sure did. She ran that TV. I swear to God. You didn't see nobody on TV as much as Gladys. Nobody. Because the only place you could see him at is going to be two shows. You either going to see him on Ed Sullivan or Johnny Carson. Smokey wasn't on there nowhere close to Gladys. Smokey was rarely on there because groups like Smokey lost TV time because they would break up, and then he come back and Smokey Robinson, a Miracle. Nat Cole originally, but Nat Cole don't count because he had his own TV show. So that don't count. He wasn't on nobody else's show. Nat Cole had his own TV show. Little Richard would be on a lot. Little Richard would be on a lot. But Little Richard wasn't on there as much as Gladys. Gladys was on there a ridiculous amount of times. Gladys was on there a ridiculous amount of times. I'm telling you. I kid you not. Everybody else, you might see them once a year. The only person you're going to see on there twice a year is Gladys. They loved Gladys Knight and the Pips. She stayed on the TV. I mean, years after she would drop a record, she would still be on TV singing them records. I kid you not. Ed Sullivan didn't have nobody on there as much as Gladys, and neither did Johnny Carson. They ain't had nobody on there. Everybody else be rare. Everybody else get on there, you run to the TV because it's rare. Gladys on there, you like, Gladys back on. It was almost like Gladys was a part of the whole night TV. I ain't lying. I bet you if they chopped up her TV performances, it'd be crazy. She stayed on them every year, all year. Not no once a year. She was on there so much her brother became famous. Man, her brother was famous from always being on the TV. I swear to God, I'm just reflecting on what I actually was watching. She stayed on the TV. And she had some hits, didn't she? Gladys don't get her props, okay? Gladys Knight is one of the most underrated black female singers that do not get her props. While Diana Ross was going through things and disappearing, while Aretha Franklin was going through things and disappearing, Gladys was always there. Because Aretha got too high and got naked, had to go get help. A lot of y'all don't remember. Remember, Aretha got on stage and pulled all the clothes off. She had to disappear for a few years. Diana, once the Supremes broke up, she got all, she was too big. Edwin Starr, remember Edwin Starr? He would be on there sometime. Sammy would be on there a lot, but Sammy didn't never drop no records, so they couldn't find out what he was going to do when he come. Gladys was the only one consistently, because see, Gladys was consistently making records in the black community. Gladys was consistently dropping singles, consistently. There was always a Gladys Knight and a Pip song. And I'll be honest, they was always hits too. They was always hit. They was always fire. Aretha was taking too long. Aretha was taking too long. Diana was going through all type of changes. Because the next people that come in and took over was the Pointer Sisters. The Pointer Sisters came in and moved in on that spot. Who remember? Who remembered when the Pointer Sisters took over TV? The Pointer Sisters came in and took over TV. And they had them on a lot. They just didn't never go where they wanted them to go like that. But the Pointer Sisters came in and they was taking over. And then after that, all those shows like that disappeared. So then them shows disappeared. There wasn't no Ed Sullivan. The Tonight Show got weird. And everything disappeared. Marvin Gaye. Right, Marvin Gaye took it and slowed it down. Because hers was, it took me back. Oh, that I heard it through the grapevine. And Marvin Gaye took it. Dun, 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 dun. And that was the beginning of stepping. So when Marvin Gaye came with his heard through the grapevine, that was the beginning of stepping, where it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You go forward, then she gonna be, baby, I must say. And that's when the stepping came in. The stepping, that's the stepping, that brought in the step, we called it bopping. So that song was one of the songs brought in bopping because it had that slow groove to it. And that's when we started bopping. Then it was like, the new bop, the new bop, the new bop. Then it eventually started calling it stepping, but it was the bop. It was bopping. And that was the 1, 2, 3 bop. 1, 2, 3 bop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We started bopping. My mama seen me bopping. She said, boy, let me teach you the cha-cha. Because the cha-cha was a lot like bopping. But that's when the bopping came in. With that song and the other song. What was the favorite bop song? Dang, man, it's going to come to me. Oh, though you may not drive, hey, a great Cadillac, gangster white walls, TV. I can go back to my player days in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, hey, you can still be spinner, grabber, catcher. Just be thankful. Yeah, we be at my boy house practicing. Go steal his daddy cologne. Go to the party. Keep your eye out for the big boys. Can't let Harold and Fat Sam and them catches in here. You know, we in the party. We young. We dancing with our girls. I need a TV show. Hey, I could paint this for you. Imagine you young. You at the club. You had to, I mean, we used to have house parties, like quarter parties or waistline parties. They measure your waistline and then they let you in. So imagine you young, you eighth grade, right? You eighth grade, ninth grade, like that. Sixth grade, seventh grade, and there, eighth grade, ninth grade. Imagine being at the party. You an eighth grader, you a seventh grader, you dancing with the girls. Ah, all of a sudden, the big boys come down there, do rags on their head, right? Right? They got rollers in their hair, they got the do rag on their head, right? Two dudes, two gang members, they come, they start dancing with each other, all in the middle of the floor, spinning each other around, over whooping. And all the little kids, we gotta stand around and two gangsters be out here dance, take the kids whole flow. Hey, I need a TV show. I'll paint that. Y'all wouldn't believe it. They come down with the do-rag on, with the butter, and we dance with the girl, but two dudes start stepping together. And they overdoing it. And he spin dude and dude like, take the whole flow. And you better not say nothing because they gang them. They like 2 years older than you, 3 years older than you. They come down there and take over the whole party. And then they dance for about 20 minutes or whatever, and then they just leave. And they turn back to the young people part. They just leave. They won't really bother nobody, but they would just take over the whole floor and be dancing. Wow, I guess they be drunk. They come in, they dancing crazy. Just like 19, just like 19, just like 1970, 1969, 1970. Now, this ain't the late 70s. This early, this, because I got out of high school in 76. I started high school in 72. No, this is when we in the sixth grade. This is in between sixth grade and seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? So this like 1971, 1969, 70, 71. On my soul. Because you understand, we little boys, we outside. We little boys. Because what? I started shooting dice in the fifth grade? I started smoking cigarettes, like the fifth grade? So fifth grade, I started smoking Newport. You go Newports. Now you go Salem, Newports, Cools. Right? We drinking vodka and orange juice. We drinking rum and Coke. And we drinking white port and Kool-Aid. You get a bottle of white port, put Kool-Aid in, the drunks get it for you. So we out this is sixth grade. Sixth grade, we grown men. I got tailor-made, so it's like sixth grade. That's like sixth grade. It's like 1969. right? Because if I start high school in 72 and graduate 76, then eighth grade is 71, seventh grade is 70. So it's like 1969, 1970. 69, 70, 71. We little boys, I mean, we gangsters, but we like little boys. That song, just be thankful for what you got. That ain't the song. That ain't the song. I knew that one. The song. It's another song. It's another song. That ain't the song. That's my high school song. I'm trying to think of the song. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. It ain't just be thankful for what you got, but that's the tempo. Damn, what was the name of that song? Uh the group was called Under Something. What was the name of that song? It's gonna come to me. That ain't the song. That's high school. You're right. I'm trying to think of the song back in the Soul Train days. Damn. It's gonna come to me. It's like one of the first, it's like the first step or song. It's damn. It's gonna come to me. That ain't it though. Cause that's my high school song. I'm thinking about like younger than that. Damn, what was the name of that song? Was it I wanna do something freaky to you, baby? When that song came out, baby, dun, 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 I wanna do something freaky to you. That might be it. It's something like that. What song? What year that song came out? That might be it. But I know it's that. Dun, dun, I wanna do. I think it might be. That might be the song. What year that came out? I think that's it. That's the first song where people start bopping. It's gonna come to me if that's not it. But that's the tempo though. I think that's it though. I think that's it. Smiling faces. Sometime. That's it. Smiling faces. What year Smiling Face came out? That's it. That's it. Smiling faces. Smiling faces. I think that's the one. That's the one. Smiling faces. Yeah. Sometime. Yeah, that's when the Bob came out. Tend to be your friend. That's it. I knew it was something like that. That's it. Smiling faces. Undisputed Truth. What year that came out? Because 1974 is too late. We talking early. Because I wasn't going to them parties no more by the time I got in high school. I was going to them parties in sixth grade. What year Smiling Faces come out? Somebody look it up for me. Undisputed Truth. I think that's it. Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces came out in 1975. That ain't it, then. That ain't the song. 1971, that's the song. That's the song, Smiling Faces. That's the song. Like I'm in like eighth grade. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one with Soul Trainers popping. That's the one right there. Because I was not in high school for sure. I was a kid. That's the one. I'm like 7th grade. That's the one. Because I really wasn't. Yep, that's the one. That's where the bop started. That's where the bop started. What they call stepping. That was the song. That was the song that started stepping. Because it wasn't fast enough to fast dance. It was smiling faces. Sometimes pretend to be your friend. So you had to go slow. Smiling faces. Show no traces of the evil that lurk. That's it. Because it got that doom, 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 doom. That's it. And that's when I learned how to bop. That's when the bop, that was the first bop. It was 1, 2, 3. That was the first bop in Chicago. Then the cross one came. Cross, 1, 2. Cross, cross, 1, 2 came out next. When my mama seen me doing the cross one, that's when she taught me the cha-cha. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Yeah. We trying to be like the big boy. We getting tailor-made suits like the big boys. We shooting dice like the big boys. We smoking cigarettes, reefer like the big boys. We doing everything like the big boys. We in 7th grade and we grown. You know what I'm saying? We in the 7th grade and we grown until the big boys show up in the young party. Then it be crazy. It be crazy. You 13, and then the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds coming there tripping. What a life. You had to have a heart of stone because you can't run. They bigger than you. But yeah, Smiling Faces is a classic that started stepping. It's a stepper's classic. New Birth, it's been a long time. Dream Merchant. Dream Merchant was huge. Dream Merchant, Tina, was big. That was a big song. So by the time I got to high school, then it all started changing. You know what I'm saying? So we get to high school, we on the bus is like do 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 do. You're my joy, you everything to me. So that's what Isaac Hayes said with the joy, that go crazy. You know what the biggest song was when I was in high school? The first big black record? For the Love of Money. Man, the pom-pom girls, everybody danced on that. I guess it was all a sound, the way the music was made. You know, the instrumentation on the OJ's Money was off the chain. That song took over, played at the basketball game. I remember. That was a big old song. That was a big song. That's when albums started taking off. Yeah, it kind of jumped off the porch, you know what I mean? Wasn't on the bike that much. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, the influence. You know what I'm saying? We on the 6th grade. We want, I want tailor-made clothes like Harold Vassell and Fat Sam and Peter Rabbit. I want to dress like them. I don't want to dress like these other dudes older than me. I don't want to dress like that. I want to dress like the older dudes older than the older dudes. So this me, this these dudes, and that's these dudes. I want to dress like these dudes. I want to dress like y'all whack. I want to dress like them. You know what I'm saying? I want to do what they doing. I want to skip a whole group. Move. I'm skipping the line. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was Stairway to Heaven was bigger than life. Climbing the stairway to heaven, right? But when I was in high school, I went to a Lutheran school. So that wasn't the biggest stairway to heaven. The biggest stairway to heaven was Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was the big stairway to heaven. And she's flying a stairway to heaven. And there's a wino down the road. That was the big, yeah, because I'm at the school now. It's like a mixed school. So I'm with all the black hustler, gangster, player, have fun music and the rock and roll. And so we listen to OJ for the love of money, but we listening to Pink Floyd. Money. Do 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 do. So we listen to that money too. Yeah, we listen to Pink Floyd money. So I'm in a mixy mix. I'm all the way on the black stuff and I'm all the way on the white stuff. Enchantment was fire. I got Enchantment up here. Enchantment. As a matter of fact, when I went to music college, I had to pick a song to play on piano, and I played Enchantment. Yeah, I played Enchantment uh, in music college to pass my piano finals. I sure did. I went downtown and bought the sheet music. Did I turn off Gil Scott? I mean, once I seen Gil Scott, I was already in the reggae, so I'd already turned him off. Once I started listening to reggae, when you're in the music, a lot of people don't understand this. You don't listen to old music. So a lot of people don't understand that. When you're a music collector, your whole motivation is the new album, the new album, the new album. So once you get the new Ozzy Brothers album, you don't listen to the old one no more. You've been listening to that one a whole year till you got the new one. So a lot of people, when they see the records, they don't understand when you're a music collector like that from a society where you listening, you only want to hear the new stuff. You don't listen to the old stuff. You always want the new record, the new record, the new record. So I had already been listening to Gil Scott. So I really wouldn't have went back and listened to him anyway. I'm buying the new stuff. If he dropped a new album, I might have, but he really wasn't releasing no music no more. He was a junkie, and I switched to reggae. So now I'm buying Barry Brown. I'm buying Ijah Levi. I'm buying Steel Pulse. I'm buying Black Uhuru. I'm buying Bob Marley. I'm buying Bunny Wailer. I'm buying reggae now. I'm listening to reggae. See, I come up listening to soul music, R&B, funk. Then I'm listening to rock and roll and all that. I'm listening to jazz fusion. So then, yeah, I'm listening to a lot of poetry like Gil Scott Heron, Last Poet, stuff like that, jazz, all that. Then I go into reggae. When I go into reggae, I do reggae straight till like 19, not till I got stabbed. When I got stabbed, I was in the hospital. My mama came to the hospital. I told her to go get me the DOC and Above the Law. And I just started listening to Above the Law because when I woke up from my surgery, I was a different person. So I've got the headphones on. Now I got a murder rap. Now I got a murder rap. I'm listening to murder music. But that's gonna be in my book when it come out. By the time I get to Chicago, now I'm watching rap. I ain't listening to reggae too much. I'm listening to reggae. I'm still going to reggae clubs, but I'm more going to the rap side. So then I went hip hop. So I've been through different music eras. So I went at just hip hop. The reggae was getting weak. By the time you get to the 90s, the reggae was getting soft. They wasn't really having instrumentation no more. They was starting to have the keyboard reggae, womp womp, wah 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 womp womp. That's not it. I want to hear some real bass and drums. Boom 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 boom. I got into rap when I got started, like late 80s. But I really got into it when I got back to Chicago, 80, 80, 88, 89, really, though. I was listening to it a little bit, but I was heavy reggae. I stayed heavy reggae till I got back to Chicago. By the time you get 91, when I woke up in the hospital, I was a demon. So when I got back in 91, now it's a whole new world because now it's the birth of Yo MTV Raps, right? And Rap City the Basement. So I still got consciousness, right? So I'm watching Rap City and Yo MTV. I'm trying to see the black conscious rap, right? I'm trying to see Poor Righteous Teachers, KRS-One, right? Them groups. I'm trying to see them. But then my favorite video was Rakim with the in the old school car with the gangster machine gun and stuff. So I'm starting to watch Rakim. I'm trying to see Rakim. I'm watching, and I'm just watching whatever's on there. I'm enjoying this new genre and checking it out. Now I'm still listening to reggae, but I'm starting to swing. And so I get big into I get so I get heavy into NWA, but I'm watching KRS-One, Cool G Rap. I'm into that. So I get into that real heavy, like the beginning of the whole hip hop. So you gotta watch whatever they show. So if they show I Am the Light, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch Light. If they got, ladies first, you gotta watch ladies first. So, if you're watching MTV and you're on TV rap, you gotta watch whatever they show. So I do that while I'm, learning how to walk and all that, right? But switching it's switching the Elephant Man and the Weirdos with the reggae. Start switching the Weirdos. Now you did have like Shinehead on there a little bit, but it started getting a little weird. The Black Conscious dudes couldn't stay together. I got to get some money, so I'm hustling. So now I'm hustling. So I get the crazy car with the Dayton's and all this in the truck, and now I'm hustling. I'm a monster. That's what my book is going to talk about. My book going to be a classic because now I ain't the same Pharaoh. He's dead. I'm a different Pharaoh. Plus, you get to the point where, the TV started to die out. The TV died out. You know, rap died and 106 in Park took over. So the whole rap shit died. It switched to CDs at 106 in Park run stuff. Rap City on TV Rap is out of here. Now it's Free and AJ run shit. Am I not laying the history out right? That whole stuff was gone. Now it's babies coming up. Bow Wow, right? And them coming up. Master P Son, Romeo. You know what I'm saying? It's all babies coming up doing their thing. Jodeci, all them. That's group coming up, the younger group. It's a whole new music. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new, you know what I'm saying? It's all new R&B singers and shit. I got a new queen. You know what I'm saying? She thicker than a Snicker. She looking good. You know what I mean? She just a regular sister. You know, I'm whatever kind of mix I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm living in O Block. And I'm with the bullshit. And I'm hustling. And I got a record label. So I got a record label. I'm around some younger brothers. One of them is a Vice Lord, one of them is a Blackstone, one of them is a Four Corner Hustler, one of them is a GD. I got to go to their neighborhoods and deal with them. See what I'm saying? Because I got a record label now. So now I got a record label. So now I'm in the studio. I'm in a whole nother world. I'm in whatever world they in. Because I got a record label. I'm producing rappers. So I'm like in a whole nother world. You know what I mean? I got a record label now. I'm in the studio. I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? There go the label right there. So now I got a record label. I'm in the studio. I'm recording. They rapping what they rapping. I'm on what I'm on. And, you know, I'm a different person. I got to get beats for them. I got to help them put songs together to do what they doing. That's the whole progression with the music. So I'm making music, and now I'm even more in it because I got to go to the radio station. I got to go to WHPK, play the record, get them at radio stations where they can get on the mic, do interviews, stuff like that. I'm more entrenched.